All right, you guys, next episode of our spiritual practices, we're going to be talking about mindfulness today. So, how I love to explain mindfulness is that mindfulness is basically about releasing the program. We talk about this all the time. Us as humans living in this matrix from childhood, we are programmed by the program of this world, specific society, culture, religion, family that we are born with. We are being presented with what are not ultimate truths, but are truths, illusions based on that program, right? We are not really in this world as children being learned to think on our own, but to believe unconditionally in what we're being told by, again, family, society, religion, culture, so on and so forth. And when we talk about mindfulness, mindfulness is really releasing the autopilot, the automated behavioral patterns that we're being put into. Sometimes as well, not just to blame society, religion, and others, but our own ego, our own defensive mechanisms, right? So when we talk about mindfulness, we talk about bringing our consciousness into our daily actions, right? So as you are doing your inner work, as you are doing, it beautifully ties into what we talked about yesterday, meditation, contemplation. Sometimes in meditations, answers come to us. Sometimes as we contemplate on this world, on human nature, on our actions, answers come to us. Once you have the answer, once you have the realization, once you live through that aha moment, automated subconscious patterns become choices. And mindfulness is about really understanding every little choice that I take, from what do I eat, what do I believe is good for me, to big life choices, is coming from a place of my truth, of the guidance of my soul, not because I was told to do that, right? And I sort of want to give you two examples that I love giving. One is with the relationship attachment style, right? We have avoidant and we have attachment. We have avoidant, we have anxious people, right? Or you can have secure and healthy attachment style, but let's face it, most of us, we have to work through one of these until a certain degree. It's something that is created in childhood, and I always educate you guys about this. We all have mother wound and father wound and childhood traumas, okay? Because in order not to have a mother wound and father wound, you would need to literally have a divine feminine and divine masculine mother and father, and we're all just humans, so they would still probably give you something. So when we talk about attachment style, when you are avoidant, right? People who are avoidant, that they don't know that they're avoidant, okay? They just think that I always say this to you guys, they usually think that they have strong boundaries, that they're very independent, that they just know what they want, and when they don't want it, they just walk away. Yeah. And there's a moment in their lives, similarly with anxious people, right? Anxious people don't realize that they're anxious in relationships. They just think that they love so much, that they care so much, right? And when this is brought to your awareness, you realize, you have that aha moment. I am exactly that. I'm exactly that. I didn't realize that, but I am anxious. I am avoidant. It stops being an automated pattern. It becomes a choice. And mindfulness is about being present in a moment and bringing that subconscious into your consciousness. What I'm about to do, why am I doing this? Right? So given that example, you went on a date with someone, right? And then you're avoidant. So this person texts you next day and you don't want to answer. So mindfulness is about why I don't want to answer. It's been brought to my attention and to my consciousness that I may be avoidant. Do I don't want to answer because I really don't want to see this person, in which case I should probably answer and give this person a closure? Or am I avoiding something? Am I running away from something? Similarly, when you're anxious, I've texted this person 3 times, they haven't answered. I feel like texting them 4th time. Why? Be mindful of what you're doing. Are you really doing this because you care so much and you love so much and maybe they're probably shy and you just want to help them out? No, it's because you are anxious. And the mindfulness goes to the smallest choices, right? Another example that I can give you is, I'm going to drink a glass of milk in the morning because milk is good for my bones. Who said that? Who told you that? Corporations of this world? Doctors that went to schools that are founded by corporations of this world? Does your body really call you to have that glass of milk? Okay. Does your body really feels better and feels good? Do you really feel like this is something that... This is just an example. I'm not saying that you should or you shouldn't do anything. Whatever you feel like you want to eat, drink, act on. But this is exactly it. This is exactly it. Mindfulness is about stopping doing things just because you're an autopilot. But I am a conscious, sovereign being. Everything that I will decide to have in my energy, to put in my body, I will be aware. Why am I doing this? Bottom line, it goes to, is it coming from a place of love or is it coming from a place of fear? Is it coming from a place of free sovereign will of my soul, or is it coming from a place of conditioning of this matrix? That's what mindfulness is about. Switching the automated patterns into a conscious choice, understanding yourself, and following how we've been doing these videos from the beginning. Who should do it? Everyone. Everyone. Oh my Lord. World would be a better place if every person was mindful. If every person would stop to think, why do I want to do this? Why do I think it's good for me? Why do I, right? The why. Don't act on an autopilot. Think before you do whatever. Think before you take a decision. Think before you take a choice. Understand, where is this choice coming from? Is it coming from my wounding? Is it coming from my shadows? Or is it coming from a place of light and alignment and love? Where is it coming from? And it's a mindfulness not just about the actions, but about how we feel, the emotions that come to us, the thoughts that come to us. And how do we do it? Obviously, as I already mentioned, it's really great to combine moments of contemplation and meditation to then become aware. Shadow work, and we're going to talk about shadow work as well in one of the episodes. And shadow work is something that brings certain things into your conscious mind. So then it's just a decision. I want to be mindful. I don't want to be a slave to the program and to the automated patterns that my ego body created to exist in this world. I'm no longer in survival mode. I want to be mindful of what I'm doing, what I'm believing in, what I'm choosing for myself. I even want to be mindful of my thinking patterns, right? And I always say it's great to start from a single pattern. Obviously, it's something that you have to practice on a daily basis. So you may, to break that automated program, that autopilot, to switch it off, you may just leave yourself literally a post-it, whether that's near your bed, on your lamp, on your mirror. Switch off the autopilot. Switch off the autopilot. Be mindful. And when it comes to the bigger things, my recommendation is always to start from that one specific thing, right? So if you, for example, it's been brought to your attention that you are avoidant, right? That your attachment style is avoidant. And as we know, when we don't just talk about relationships, people who are avoidant towards relationships, but they're avoidant towards life's opportunities, right? Similarly with anxious people, they're not just anxious when it goes to friends and boyfriends, girlfriends, relationships, but they're anxious when it comes to life, the opportunities of life, work, right? Everything. So when this is brought to your attention, let's say, okay, I'm avoidant. I'm avoidant. Obviously, part of your shadow work will be to understand the why, and we'll talk about this as we talk about the shadow work, where it comes from, what it means. But when we talk about it in context of mindfulness, every day you bring it to your conscious mind. I'm avoidant. And now when you stand in front of a decision, something happens and you're like, I don't want to deal with it. Why? Slowly you start to realize how much you have been a slave to that pattern, how much it has been influencing every single decision, how you talk to people, what do you decide to do with your day, how do you decide to take care of yourself, to nourish yourself. That's mindfulness. And you start with one thing, whether that's avoidance, it can be your eating habits. Many people work on automated patterns. Their eating habits, they refuse to accept that, but their eating habits link back to their wounds and their shadows. They do things on an automated pattern, looking for excuses. If you start to become mindful, you stand in front of something that you want to eat. Am I really hungry? That's the first question. Second question, is this really good for my body? You look at that thing for some time, or if you haven't cooked it yet, you're deciding, you're thinking about it, visualizing it. Take a few deep breaths. Is it really good for my body? Do I really want to do it? Mindfulness. Some people, one of the things that we usually start with, like I said, avoidance, anxiety, eating habits, triggered responses, automated response, how you respond to people. Change reactions into responses, conscious responses. And the more you're mindful, the more naturally and effortlessly, maybe not effortlessly, but it's a difficult thing to do in the beginning, but it's going to become more natural and more natural. And you're going to start to switch from a place of ego to a place of soul, because soul is mindful. Soul is awareness. So soul is aware of everything all the time. It's the ego that, and remember, it's something that we'll cover as well in the shadow work. The switch is not about shaming the ego. This is how ego is programmed. This is what ego is. Ego is here to help us to survive in this world. So sometimes when we're faced with trauma, trigger, challenge, it creates these patterns to make it easier for us. But the moment comes that we're adults, we're ready. We're ready to release, to let go, to become sovereign, right? To stand in our truth, to stand in our power. The power of taking decisions for myself that are best for my alignment. The power of understanding that most of the decisions that I've been taking, they've come from automated patterns, fearful patterns, ego-based patterns, and conditioning of this world. Now I'm ready to let that go, right? And as you switch from the place of ego to a place of spirit, not only mindfulness will become natural and normal, right? You will embody it. You won't have to force yourself to do it every day. You will just let go of those automated patterns. You will become more intentional in your life. You will have a clear vision where you're going from and where you're going towards. The karma and the dharma, your northern star, right? Every decision, from the smallest decision, will be a decision that you take in alignment to your highest destiny. And as a byproduct, which is very beautiful, not just with mindfulness, but with all these spiritual practices and with the journey of healing, a natural byproduct is that you will become more present. Most people, unfortunately, are trapped in between past and future. They cannot let go of the past. Part of their energy is always in the past, and they constantly worried about the future. When we become mindful, it fosters presence. Your mind is in the moment of now because you're dwelling on the why you are about to do certain thing. And as you become more present, it's such a beautiful byproduct of spirituality. The perception of time changes. And this is where you truly know where someone is really spiritual, in the sense of, I live in a place of spirit, or they just say that they're spiritual, or they're still on a journey, they're trying. It's how they perceive time. Most people say, oh my God, this year flew by. Oh my God, I don't even, right? People who truly are spiritual, because we live in the moment of now, in the presence. We're mindful of everything. We're grateful for everything. We talked about gratitude as well. Every moment we live in it, it gets extended. So to someone who is truly in a place of spirit, when you talk to them about something that happened a year ago, it seems like a lifetime, because from that moment of a year ago, there's so much that I've lived through, so much that I've analyzed, so much that I grew, expanded. I was mindful in every moment, and every moment got extended. Whereas most people, it's like, oh my God, time flies by. Time is relative. Time is relative. Time is just an illusion. But again, if we are focused and mindful of the moment of now, who we are now, what do we want to do now, how do we feel now, every moment we take it as an opportunity to grow, to expand, to live, to thrive, without really caring what was, because I'm no longer there. Why would I care about the past? And we don't think about the future, because although we know where we're going, because we're connected to that Dharma and to that Northern Star energy, we know that we're protected and we're going to be guided wherever we need to go, and whatever needs to happen will happen. So why dwell on it, right? I know where I'm going, but I don't care on the how and the when. I'm in the moment of my consciousness, my awareness is in the moment of now. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you tomorrow for our next episode.